live on ITV and ITV Hub.
Now with a look at all the stories making the headlines this afternoon, it's the ITV News.
Good afternoon, I'm Suzanne Virdee. Boris Johnson is under pressure this lunchtime to explain a meeting he had with Sue Gray over her highly anticipated Partygate report. It's understood the pair met at least once, but a Whitehall source said that the report's contents were not discussed at any point. Labour's deputy leader, Angela Rayner, has called on the Prime Minister to urgently explain why the secret meeting had taken place. It comes as about 30 people, including Mr Johnson, are being contacted by the Cabinet Office to warn them they'll be named in the document. Charlie Frost has more.
Another day, another twist in the investigations into lockdown-breaking parties that took place inside these walls. While the Met Police may have finished their inquiries, we're still waiting for Sue Gray's report, a report the Prime Minister promises is independent, despite it now being revealed he met with her to discuss it, a move Labour is questioning. The party's deputy leader, Angela Rayner, tweeting, "The PM must explain why he held a secret meeting with Sue Gray to discuss her report, despite claiming her investigation was completely independent. The report must be published in full with all accompanying evidence. The public deserve the truth."
Well, we're going to help you as much as we can.
It's a truth Boris Johnson says the public will get, saying Downing Street hold no sway on the content of the report.
That will be entirely up to Sue Gray, and I'll be looking forward very much to seeing what she has to say, and fingers crossed that will be pretty soon next week.
Sue Gray, the civil servant tasked with investigating Partygate, which led to 126 police fines, reportedly asked the Prime Minister for the meeting over a month ago to discuss the issue of publishing photos of gatherings uncovered by her investigation and not the contents of the report. Boris Johnson allegedly replied it was up to her. And now, with the report expected to be published next week, we don't have to wait much longer to see what she's decided. Charlie Frost, ITV News.
Well, I'm joined now by STV's Westminster correspondent, Catherine Sampson. Catherine, there's still a lot riding on Sue Gray's report, isn't there? When do you think we're actually going to see it?
Well, you heard the Prime Minister there say early next week. I think we could expect Thursday by the latest, because after that point, the Parliament goes into recess. Now, it is not known if some or all of the hundreds of photos that police were given as part of their investigation are going to be published in the Sue Gray report. There has been some dispute today over whether Sue Gray and Boris Johnson actually discussed photos being published as part of their meeting. I spoke to a spokesperson for the Sue Gray inquiry this morning who told me that they don't think that was the case. They dispute reports that actually happened. Downing Street have insisted all through this that they have not tried to influence Sue Gray in any way. The timing and the contents, they say, of this report are entirely up to her.
OK, Catherine, thank you. The Foreign Secretary has called for extra defence aid to go to Ukraine's neighbour Moldova. Speaking to The Telegraph, Liz Truss said Moldova should be equipped to NATO standard to protect it from possible Russian aggression. Like Ukraine, Moldova has a Russian separatist region. Some sexual health clinics have halted walk-in appointments in response to the recent rise in cases of monkeypox. There are now more than 20 confirmed UK cases of the disease, which is only spread by close contact. And in the last few minutes, Australian news networks have projected that Anthony Albanese's Labour Party has won the general election there. He'll form a government and replace Scott Morrison as Prime Minister. Finally, as the country's official coin maker, the Royal Mint knows a thing or two about precious metals. It knows, for a start, that the best place to mine them isn't necessarily in the ground. That's why it's launching a new jewellery range this weekend, made from gold that's been recycled from old mobile phones and computers. Rhys Williams explains.
At the Royal Mint, they're used to taking precious metals and turning them into items of great value. Less demand for coins means they're now making luxury gold jewellery. No big surprises there, you might say, but it's where they're getting that gold that's really unique. Electronic waste, it's a problem that's really piling up. We produce more than 50 million tonnes of it every year, and it's only getting worse.
A great deal of e-waste is stuff like this, motherboards and circuit boards from laptops and computers, the kind of dusty old rubbish you'd expect to see on top of a skip. But there's an extraordinary amount of precious metal value to be found in this waste.
You're likely to have something like 20 disused electronic items in your house. And unbelievably, 7% of the world's gold exists in disused electronics, but we only recycle something 18% of this, which is a real problem for us.
It starts with a unique process to chemically strip the gold from the waste. It's then treated and filtered and ends up as a fine powder. The key here is that this process doesn't involve shipping the rubbish abroad to be smelted at high temperatures as we do now, leaving an enormous carbon footprint. When it's ready, this recovered gold ends up in the workshop, where it's now used to produce luxury jewellery. It's part of a strategy to not only become more sustainable, but also to survive.
That's been part of our reinvention, really looking at how we, as coins are declining, how we can create new jobs going forward. 1100 years ago, when we first formed, actually we made all the coins out of gold and silver. So all I see is that it's actually reinterpreting for this generation.
A golden opportunity for the Royal Mint to adapt to our changing habits, with the hope it will protect hundreds of jobs and keep alive a centuries-old tradition of British craftsmanship. Rhys Williams, ITV News, Llantrisant.
What a good idea. And that is it. Lucy Watson will be here with our next bulletin at 6. Until then, have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.